Okay, we are going to start with, if you can see it, an H size crochet hook. That's 5 millimeters, and then 2 strands of worsted weight yarn. Now I'm using leftovers from projects I've done before, so the colors don't really match, but they're going to be comfy for the animals. The first thing we're going to do is do the magic ring. We're going to start with the tail ends coming down on the front of your hand. You're going to wrap it around for 1, cross it in the back, and that second loop around is going on this side. Then you hold it tight from that end. We're going to go under the first loop and grab this one. And when we grab it, we want to turn it so it makes a little loop on your crochet hook. Then we're going to get in here, grab this again, and pull it through that first loop. So that's how we get that magic loop started. We untangle the tails there. And we're going to crochet around both the loop and the tails. I'm grabbing the wrong thing here, I can't see. Okay, I'm going to tighten that a little bit with the tails. We're going to crochet 6 into the magic circle. I'm sorry, I've never taken a video from above before, so excuse me if this is wild and all over the place. I'm doing the best I can with the weird setup that I kind of figured out here. So we've got 2, and I can't see, 3, 4, I'm trying to even out this loop here, 5, and 6. All right, we single crochet 6 times around the loop, untangle it again, and then pull those tails tight so it completely shuts our circle. So there's our little ring. We're going to count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to slip stitch into this last one, and this one is always the hardest one for me to get in. It's really tight right there. We'll leave our long tails hanging because we're going to use that in just a minute to mark our rounds. Okay, so there's our magic ring, and that counts as our first round. So the next thing, round number 2, we're going to do 2 in each single crochet, and that's going to leave us with 12. So round 2, we're doing 2 in each one. I leave the tails hanging for now. We're going to go back to this one. One, sorry, pulling my yarn here. 2, oops, lost it. Sorry, I cannot see. I've got the funniest, I made like a table over myself to see this, or to videotape it, and so I can't really see what I'm doing. Hopefully you can. So 2 in each one. This is going to be 4, 5, 6. Do this until you've made it all the way around. Okay, we have finished our second round. We're going to start on the third. Now, once we get past this second round, I like to mark where we're at, where each round starts and ends. And to do that, I don't use crochet markers. If you do, that works perfectly, but I just use this long tail that we kept when we did our magic ring. And we'll just tuck it over like this, and then crochet past it. And that helps tuck your tail also as you're crocheting, so you don't have to go back and weave the ends back in. So for the third round, what we're going to do is do 1 in the first spot and then 2 in the next. And the way that I remember this is there's going to be a count of 3 in the third row, and the increase is always in the last one. So we do 1, and then in the next one, 2 and 3. So for round 3, we do 1, then the next one is going to be 2 and 3, and do that all the way around for round 3. Okay, we have finished round 3. Now for the next, we're going to do a count of 4. And again, the increase is going to be in the last part of our counting, in the last part of our pattern. So we're going to do 1, 2, and then 3, 4. That's where the increase is. So 1 in one single crochet, 2 in the next one, 3 and 4 in the third one. That's where our increase is. So 4 has the pattern with 4 counts. So here is, whoops, want to make sure that we have our tail also. Make sure you keep that marker there. So this is at the top now. It's going in the back. I had it in the right spot. I just didn't see it. Okay, so we have 1. Then I pull the tail kind of tight. Okay, get my yarn. 2. Then 3 and 4 in round 4. Okay, and we're going to do that again and do that all the way around. 1, 1, 2. But I count it 1, 2, 3, 4 because I will lose track otherwise. So this is 3 and 4. We're going to do that all the way around. Okay, here's our 4. Row 5 is going to be the same thing. This always repeats no matter how many rows you have done. If you're on row 5, we're going to do a count of 5. If you're on row 6, it's going to be a count of 6. Row 7, count of 7, and you just do the increase in that last one. So you're, say you're on number 7, you're going to do the 7 and 6 together. Right now we're on number 5, so we're going to do the 5 and 4 together. So I'm going to flip the tail over again to keep my spot. Make sure I know when to switch to the next number for our next round. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5 together. Okay, keep doing that all the way around until you get the base as big as you want it to be. Okay, now at this point, I'm going to recommend paying attention to the different sizes that you're making, how big the base is. Now, if you want to make a bunch of these and nest them together, it makes it easy for shipping. And so you're going to want to make each one 2 rows smaller than the next or bigger than the next. So here I have a large one. I can't remember what size this is, but the next one fits inside of it really snug like this. And then I have another and another and another and the smallest one. So these all fit together like this. So here's the one that I just did, and I only went up to 5 rows, but it's going to fit inside of this one nicely. So I'm going to stop there. So when we are done making our base, then we're going to make our first round of our sides. Now for that, we're just going to go in the back part of this V here. And it's going to leave kind of a little line on the inside because of the front half. But we're going to go into the back of each one of the single crochets instead of taking the whole thing up. We're going to do that all the way around just once. And again, these tails tell us exactly where we started or began. And so we're going to go right into the back and single crochet all the way around again. And it's just 1 in each. From here on out, it's just going to be 1 single crochet in each. Oops, I lost one of my loops there. 1 single crochet all the way around, just into the back for this first one. So I'll meet you there. Okay, I have made it all the way around our first row of the sides coming up, and we did it just in the back, and you can see there's this little line around the bottom there, and this will give it a nice strong base. And now what I wanted to mention also is at this point you're going to want to pay attention to how tall your sides are. You can either check the pattern to see how many rows you're going to need for the size of the base, but I don't like to count as much as possible. So what I do is I keep a little measuring tape here, and so I'll measure my base. It's about 3 inches. Oops, lost you here. About 3 inches. This is a small one. This is going to be kind of in between two of them here. So, but I know for a fact that this one was a 5 round base. So according to this, the side height should be 4 inches. So I'm just going to keep this next to me and check every once in a while to see how tall it is. And that's when I'm going to end. So after you do the first one, you're going to do 1 in each one for the remainder of your nest, but we're not going to do just in the back anymore. We're going to grab the whole thing, and this is all you're doing for the rest of it, no matter what size it is. That first one was the only one we were only grabbing the back loop. Now we're grabbing both loops, and we're going to finish up like this. Every once in a while checking to see how tall your sides have gotten, or counting how many rounds. I'm also going to keep putting this tail in and out as I do my rounds because I don't like having to go back and weave them in. It's a pain in the butt. Okay, now as you're building the sides up, they start to look like they're curving in a bit, but don't worry, as it gets bigger, they'll hold up and they will actually be straight sides. So if you think that you're losing stitches somewhere because of that, you're probably not. Don't worry about it, just keep on going and get your sides bigger. Okay, I have got my 4 inches of sidewall, and now I'm going to do the invisible finish. So the last thing we have to do is we're going to keep our crochet hook here. Okay, we're going to cut our tail and pull this through. Now we're going to skip this next stitch, go in the second one here, pull the tail through. Okay, then we're going to go in the first stitch that we had skipped. I'm going to bring our tail to the other side and pull that through over here. So that makes our invisible stitch, or our invisible finish, whatever it is. And we're just going to weave these ends in, and that is the end of the nest. And then when you fold it, fold the sides down, it'll look something like that. With these woven in. I think that's it, and then this one will fit inside of this one as I had hoped, so that I can nest them together like this in another pile to make shipping easier.